Welcome, everybody, to the Morning Brew. This is a new talk show that we are going to be doing for the month of February to celebrate Black History Month. And I'm so excited to be here on this amazing Tuesday. Can you believe this is the first February? This is the first Tuesday in February. Oh my God. I mean, listen, the months are already starting to creep up on us before you know it.
Mm-hmm.
But today I have an amazing guest who is joining me for my very first show. Her name is Ms. Shannon Brooks, and I want her to give you an opportunity of who she is. So, Shannon, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you before we actually dive into this morning brew.
Okay. Well, like I said, like you said, my name is Shannon Brooks. I'm located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I am a financial consultant, and I'm also a life and health insurance agent. But I mainly specialize in life insurance because I know that when it comes down to the African American communities, there's a lack of education there and a lack of knowledge. So I'm the one that boldly goes where most agents won't go, and that's into these African American communities because it's high time that we know what we can do and how we can do it to finally be financial legacies and stop being financial burdens.
Yes. Oh my God. Audience, she just dropped some good golden nuggets and gems on us real quick. Shannon, real quickly before we get started, I mean, your story is so amazing that I really want, our audience to really to know a little bit more about you, especially during the Black History Month. So can you kind of tell us real quickly how you got started in doing life insurance?
Okay. Well, years ago, I was working in corporate America. I worked in a credit union. Here in Winston-Salem, it's a credit union called Truliant Federal Credit Union. And while I was there, one thing I realized was that it was, you know, quite a few, Caucasians that was there and very few of us. So I was always joking to say, you know what, how many more flies in the bowl of milk is this going to be? Because I mean, I was like in a culture shock when I first started. I was like, oh my God, like where are we at? But then when I started to realize is that the reason why we weren't in there is because number one, it was due to credit. They wanted you to have good credit to work there. And let's just be honest, a lot of us don't have good credit. And a
Mm-mm.
lot of times it's not because we're bad people, it's just we're not educated on how credit works.
Yes,
And
yes.
then once I got in there, that's when I started realizing I was like, how in the world are all these people in here? Seem like they come from money and they not struggling. They just coming to work just happy. I mean, I used to get up and go to work mad. But I'm like, how in the world, why are you so happy? And it's because you know what? They had resources, they had assets. But once again, whenever we looked into what, we had really a lack of everything. So
Mhm.
what I said, you know what? While I'm here, I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't know which path that I was wanted to take. So while I was there, I said, you know what? I'm going to get as much information as I can. I'm going to become a sponge. And I'm going to learn everything that I possibly can about finances, learn everything I can about insurance, how it works. And, from there, I just started to make my exit strategy from, being in corporate America over to doing what I do now. But I always say everybody has to have a why behind them. My why has always been because growing up, I came up in a single parent home and I lived in the hood. And one thing I noticed whenever living in the hood, there's information that's not shared in the hood like it is across town, as my grandmother used to say. And
Mhm.
I think about my mom who, she did an excellent job with me. But a lot of times she had, sometimes a lack of resources because, she was a social worker and she had to work all the time just to take care of me. But at the same time, the reason why she was able to do the things she did on her job and get the insurances and the all of the different benefits is because a group of her white, colleagues came together and they educated my mother. But the
Mm.
ones that were black didn't. And
Mm.
so one thing I started to realize is when I started doing what I do is that, there's such a gap when it comes down to the hood, the projects. And I said, you know what? It's high time somebody go in there because everybody deserves an opportunity. Everybody deserves to be educated. A lot of times people are not in those situations because they're looking for a handout. They're just looking for a help up. And somebody
Mhm.
took my mom's hand and said, I'm going to help you. Somebody took my hand and said, Shannon, I'm going to help you. So I have to pay it forward. So that's why I say in what I do, I know that I'll never be on a billboard. I'll never cross a stage being, a top earner. But I'm okay with that because if my clientele that's in the projects or in the low income communities or whatever, if I know that they are, prospering and they're coming from poverty and they're coming through the trenches to get to prosperity, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Awesome. Awesome. You know what, audience, thank you all for joining us this morning. We have some amazing ladies that are tuning in to us. You know what, you brought out some really good information, and that's really kind of the whole part of us celebrating Black History Month, because what you said is so juicy, because what we need a part of our community is networking together. And you just gave such a good a good history of how networking really works and how it worked in your situation. I mean, it took someone to actually, kind of help somebody else to help somebody else. And so now that we all win, and that's huge right now. Um, One of the things I look at, even within your story, that I so love about you is because of the energy that you have. I mean, the passion that you have of wanting to go and help other people, no matter where they are, no matter what community that they are. And one of the things, even in our Black History Month, is that's what kind of took. It took for us to go out, some of us who that was, more educated, to go out and help the others to make sure that they got educated on some of the things that they really need in their life. I mean, life insurance, I mean, whether people believe it or not, I mean, that is a huge need.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people, I mean, I used to sell insurance a long time ago, and just, my history of it, I mean, people got it because, yeah, I'll get it for the minute, but the minute something else came up, whether it was their nails, getting their hair done, I mean, that was the first bill that they would drop.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you would come back and educate them and say, no, listen, this is why you really need to have life insurance. Everybody needs life insurance, especially we've seen that now coming out of 2020, how everybody had to pivot, not just in their business, but in their lifestyle and how they've been doing things. So it's so huge. I thank you, sister, because you know what, you just bring that real good truth out, and I love that.
Well, I try to.
So, okay, so you have a Facebook group that you are really trying to take the next education on helping people. And what is the name of your Facebook group?
It's called From Poverty to Prosperity.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies, all of you that are joining in, please join her Facebook page. It is called Poverty to Prosperity, and she's going to be dropping some golden gems in that group of really just educating. So, listen, lady, she's not trying to sell you. I mean, if you find a need that you really need her services, she's there to help you. But she's really trying to use networking in our, especially, ladies, this is Black History Month. She's trying to use networking as a way to help educate you on the reason why this is so important. She gave you an amazing example of how, it went down through her trend. So she wants to be able to give back. And this is what it's about. It's about us giving back and helping one another. So ladies, go to her Facebook page. Look, join her group. She's going to be giving some good nuggets. She's going to be doing some free training, just to make sure that she keeps her community educated. And if she can help someone along the way, she is there to give you all the information that you need. So real quickly, I want to get into, before, our time expires, I want to get into why we're here. We're here about celebrating Black History Month. And like I said, today's topic, our morning show is going to be called The Morning Brew. So please join us every Tuesday morning. We're going to have different guests on, and we're going to be talking about, the celebration of Black History Month. So tell me, Shannon, what does that mean to you? What does celebrating Black History Month mean to you?
Well, for me, I'm gonna be honest. Black History Month, it's every month for me. I'm just being honest. Because I love myself some me. I love this Melton. And I just feel like I don't need February, which is the shortest month, to celebrate. But for me, celebrating Black history is about celebrating our ancestors, celebrating where we have come from. It also is about making sure we support each other. And it's also about making sure that we are loving on each other and that we're celebrating each other. because I mean, I'm 44, so I wasn't around whenever we were all still integrated. I mean, segregated. But just I remember, listening to what my dad, used to say about when it came down to Black people, how before when we were all in one, I guess area, segregated from everybody. We had no choice but to utilize each other. We had no choice but to be around each other. And with that, what he used to always say is that if you, let's say you were baking cakes, you weren't going to go out of business because you were going to sit there and you were going to bake cakes for the whole entire neighborhood. Somebody else was over here, they were taking care of the kids. Somebody else over here was doing hair. Somebody else over here was cooking or what have you. We took care of each other. We didn't need anything else outside of each other. And for me, when it come down to Black History Month or Black History or networking or anything like that, my thing is, I have, faith in our people. I mean, now some of them get on my nerves, and I'm not gonna come on here and, and start losing, my Jesus, but the thing is that, if we could go back to having that same kind of, principle, we can celebrate every month. We can celebrate every day.
Oh, that
So,
is good
for me,
deal.
I don't need February because I'm going to celebrate you. I'm going to celebrate my sisters, my brothers. I'm going to celebrate it every single day. And so
Oh,
my
that's
thing
good
is, if we
deal.
could get back to how we used to be, networking, meaning that, and don't get me wrong, I have, plenty of Caucasian friends that are good to me. They're my clients. They love me and I love them. But, but at the same time, when it come down to, our culture and our people, if we could go back to taking care of each other, we could all come up and we can all rise together. Because my thing is, if I'm going up that mountain, I'm not getting to leave anybody behind. Even if that means it's going to take me a minute to get up there. But I'm like, okay, honey, come on. We got somewhere to go. We got somewhere to go. I can't leave you in the valley. And I think if we all came, with that approach, when it come back to it, we can celebrate every day. I don't, like I said, don't get me started on this thing on this February, because I used to be like that when I was a little girl. Why we only get the shortest month of the year? That's not fair. I was always, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. But at the same time, that's how I view, Black History Month, so it's like, it's every day, it's every month for me.
I love that because, girl, you that's why I love you. Because you
How
know
you
what?
know I love you back
You keep it 100 and
all
you
the
drop it
time.
in gems. Y'all listen, she gave some good night. Look, February should be celebrating Black History Month should be every month. We should be doing everything that we can do. She gave some good examples. When somebody, made a cake, everybody got a piece of cake. You know what I'm saying? It was like we were not leaving anyone behind. We were supporting each other as they built their business. And that's how it should be. You're so right, Shannon. We should be doing that. We talk about empowering and doing different things, but, are we really empowering? Are we really helping others make sure that their business, like you said, you go up one piece of the mountain, I'm going to take you with me. Are we all doing that with each other? Are we really helping and supporting others make it take it to the next level? Because you know what? Here's the thing about it. There used to be an old saying that, what is it? What was it that, like, I'm not going to help you because, you may be better than me or you may do different things than me. But you know what? That saying is gone. Do everybody hear me? That is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It is time for us to be collaborators and to be able to help one another. Just like she said, going back to the Black History Month, when one did something, everybody did in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we should be looking at doing. We should be helping each other benefit from what we're doing and not just trying to buy, for our own selves. So I love the fact that, you're making it, you're really stressing the fact that how Black history united us and brought us together, made us understand the whole importance of, helping and supporting and networking with one another. Because, we all had to talk to each other while we was in them huddles, right? Everybody had to talk, right? And that's where that's where some of the amazing ideas and inventions and things came up, because we all took the time, to sit there, support, huddle, talk, love, and do everything we needed to do, with our culture.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love that. I love that. So one of the things that I look at too, how networking has took us from that time to now. And it's like, even look at some of the shows. I mean, you look at back in the day, there was like, when we talk about, networking and collaborating and coming together, television was one of our huge main things that really kind of, because, look, I mean, before all these big flat screens and everything came out. We had a little box TV. A lot of people had little box TVs, and they were able to, hone into those TVs. But the message of our Black community, spoke to us through those particular shows. So they spoke to us through, like, say, what was it, Martin?
Living Single.
Living Single, Queen Latifah had shows. And that's kind of how, do you think that's a lot of how we learned some of our stuff, or do you think that's a little bit how we connected? Because now you look at a lot of us, look at today, how, we went from there to now, and look at all the amazing shows and movies and producers and people that got Oscar awards and everything. But that was a huge part of our community of us collaborating and connecting and uniting us together. But the message was done from some of us that came from from some of those television shows. Would you agree?
I will, because I pretty much grew up through the 90s. And, I remember watching Martin and Living Single and what was it, New York Undercover and, all these other different shows. And, just thinking like, wow, like, especially like with Living Single, you couldn't tell me I wasn't Queen Latifah. You could not tell me that I was not Queen Latifah when I walked into the room. UNITY. Yes, honey. Yes. But, but one thing I loved about it is that, to watch and see Black love and, and watch to see, finally, it seemed like it was shows where Black people were, were prospering. Because it seemed like sometimes back when I would, look at stuff from the 70s and the 80s, and, at the time I really didn't, understand everything, but it's almost like they made us look like we were just depressed and just suppressed. Like, I remember, like I used to like watch the, the Jeffersons, and I was like, oh my God, he made it to the penthouse or whatever, and, but then it was like from there, then you had like the Cosby Show, and who didn't want to be Claire? I was going to be a lawyer too, but, I think that era, though, it allowed us to dream, and it allowed us to dream big, and it allowed us to see Black people see us in a beautiful manner. Not just necessarily just us out here robbing somebody or killing somebody or out here fighting, each other or whatever. And I think that for me, and I guess some in my era, we looked at that, and that's what got us through college. That's what got us through, jobs. Even though we knew Martin wasn't real, we knew Living Single wasn't real, but it was about, making it into what you wanted it to be. And when I saw success, I was like, you know what? I want to be just like, Khadijah. I want to be, just like, Martin and, and Gina, me and my husband. I was like, even back then, I'm like, we're going to be Martin and we're going to be Gina, but it just gave us hope, and it gave us, something to look forward to. And I think that right there is what kind of helped to mold a lot of us, because if you think back, I went to A&T, so, back whenever I was there, if I talked to anybody from A&T, they'd be like, girl, remember on Thursday nights, we used to cram all in somebody's room trying to watch Martin and Living Single and New York Undercover. I was like, girl, yeah, who would? Because I was either in somebody's room or they were pounding mine. But it gave us, like I said, just something to look forward to.
It did. It so did, and that goes back to, like you said, it's about that why, why we do the things that we do. And that why is really our hope. It's our dreams. It allows us to, to be something, anything we want to be. That's what that why allows us to be. Allows us to do anything that we want to be. And you know what? Just with, like you said, as we come together, as we rise together, that collaboration right there, pushes you to the next level. And if you see that they could do it, guess what? I could do it too. It gives you that momentum, that energy, that spirit. Oh my God. You know what? You is dropping some true nuggets. I love that. It goes back from our beginning of our conversation to now. Look, you talking about poverty and prosperity. Look how that has changed. We went from here to now we're here. Now we're building again. Now we're working with each other. Well, you know what? This has just been amazing. That's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to celebrate, talk about, I always say all the time, people think that networking is just going to networking events, but you have to really look at the true meaning of what networking is and the many layers that networking has and how it can really, make your business profitable. It's money in networking. It's communication. It's friendship. It's collaborative in networking. It's more than what people think networking is. And like you said, you're trying to educate people in the fact of why they need, to have life insurance. And me, on the other hand, I try to educate people on the importance of really plugging into the power of networking and how that can just really take you to a whole nother level, not just in your business, but in your personal life as well. Because we all need it. We do it every day. People think you don't do it. I mean, people think networking is working, but it's not. It's really just having meaningful relationships, meeting new people as you go along the way, because you never know who you can meet to really take you, not even just your business, but take you to a whole nother level. So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So Shannon, before we go real quick, I want you to just again tell us a little bit more about some things that you're going to have coming up. I know you're going to be doing some workshops on really talking about, the importance of educating ladies. We have a lot of people tuning into us, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions for Shannon, please just drop them in the comments, and I'll make sure that she answers them. But yes, but Shannon, one thing that she does, ladies, and I want you to, our audience, I just want you to make sure that she is here to educate you and help answer any questions for you. And if you need her services, she's there for you. But that's really the whole thing. We're going to try to educate why the importance of the things that you need in order to take you to the next level. So I want everyone to join, which it looks like a lot of us is joining your Facebook group, which is called Poverty Prosperity. So please join. Like I said, she's going to be dropping some nuggets, some good nuggets in there. But Shannon, go ahead and just give us just a little bit, give the audience just a little more information about you, how they can connect with you, and what you have coming up.
Okay. Well, it's like, like I said before, my name is Shannon Brooks. I'm located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I'm a financial consultant and also a life and health insurance agent. I can be reached via Facebook under my name. I know that there's probably quite a few Shannon Brooks out there, but if you put in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, I should pop up. As far as my Facebook group, I'm still growing it. I'm still learning about Facebook groups. Miss Tandra over here, little bit of fire up under my, my behind. So, I'm trying to come to the light. I'm an introvert. So she over here, she done came and just popped my bubble when I said respect it, and she popped it. So I was like, well, all right, here I come. But yes, I can be reached on, through Facebook. My contact number is 336-486-9151. And also, I do have an email. If you decide you want to reach out via email, my email address is swbrooks31@yahoo.com. And the main thing that I just want to just get across to people is just all about just educating and empowering. That's the main thing that I want to do while I'm out here. It's not about a sale for me. There has been a time in my life where, yes, I was very desperate and I needed money because Duke Power kept cutting my stuff off. And I needed to help pay bills and all that other good stuff. But one thing I always say is God takes care of babes and fools. And he take good care of me. So I'm not here at Thank God anymore where I have to just, feel like I got to, force the sale or be desperate. No, I'm none of that. But I just want you to just, to have the education. And I want you to know that it doesn't matter if you can only start with $5 or $10 a month. That doesn't matter. I have people who they have, they've been my client for years and they don't pay any more than $10 a month. And I'm proud of them. And I advocate for them. And I go to bat for them. You let anybody come and talk about, my single mothers staying in the projects or whatever, and you say something, I'm windmilling on you. That's all it is to it. I'm going to windmill. Because, I know what it feels like to be the underdog. I represent the underdog. I know what it feels like to be counted out. I know what it feels like to not be invited to the table. But I'm that agent. It's like I'm coming in, I'm kicking in that door. And when I kick in that door, I'm taking everybody with me. I'm like, y'all better come on in here. Come on, because I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hold this door. This door is a little heavy, but it's okay. You're worth it. Come on, let's go. We got somewhere to go. So that's why I say when it comes down to what I do, I'm very passionate about helping others because somebody took the time to help me. Somebody took the time to help my mother. Somebody took the time to help my family. And it's a blessing to be a blessing. And we all have to be in the mode of paying it forward. We're not where we are because of luck. We're where we are because somebody else helped us to get there on that platform. So for me, when it comes down to what I do, networking, all that other stuff is just about building relationships, building rapport, seeing what I can do for you. I'm that kind of, I'm not that kind of agent. I don't even want to compete with nobody. I love to work with other agents. I want to collaborate with you. I want to connect with you. You tell me we got to compete. I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. They said they be sitting over there, and be like, ready, set, go. Everybody else go. And I'm be like, oh, I'm supposed to take off too. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me eat my sweet potato pie real quick first so I can. Okay, here I come. I'm ready. I'm going. And here I come. But I'm not going to compete with you. So, but that's just me in a nutshell. I know I can be a firecracker. I tell people all the time, I'm that one you don't want to give a microphone to, because they don't tell them what I'm going to say. And I might just pull up in the back of a bus with, my football helmet on and my cowboy boots. But at the end of the day, I'm coming because, I want to see people do better. I want to see people prosper. I want to see our people take it on to the next level. And I want to let everybody know that we can get out of poverty together, whether it's situational poverty, whether it's generational poverty. We can get out of it together. It just takes discipline, it takes education, and it just takes all of us doing our part and playing our role. And that's just all I'm trying to do is just do my part. And when God calls me home and he say, what did you do? I said, I went out here, Lord, and I touched, and I tried to change the life of one person. And because of that, I know my life wasn't in vain.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Listen, if you didn't get anything, she gave you the whole scoop. She gave you the whole brew right at the end. She gave you the whole morning brew right at the end. So listen, connect with her. Listen, we need more of Shannon's. We need more of her out here, helping and educating us and, just wanting to give back. Like she said, we got to pay it forward. We didn't make this journey by ourselves. I mean, somebody else, picked us up and took us where we needed to be. So we need more of this, lady. I so appreciate you joining me, for my very first show called The Morning Brew. I am so excited. Listen, if all of those who are tuning in to us, listen, I do another show after this. It's called Talk to Me Tuesday. It's on a LinkedIn Live. So, join me if you're available. Join me. We're going to be giving up some helpful networking tips that will help you, again, to elevate your business. But I appreciate you, Ms. Shannon. Listen, come back anytime. I love you. You listen, I'm telling you, I can't have a more better friend than Shannon in my group, in my sister circle. So I love it. I love it. I love it. Until the next time, till next Tuesday, everyone, join us again. Tuesday, same time, Morning Brew at 10 a.m. Talk to you then. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.